Hey, well, still in my nightgown. I know it's the afternoon, but this morning I woke up with a starting of a migraine. There's a lot of pollen out, and my allergies have been going a little crazy. And I think that maybe that's what it was from. But I've got all the lights, much dimmer than usual in the house because the lights kind of, making me feel sort of sick. So I've been online just a little bit because that also, the light from the screen is difficult. But I listened to a video that my friend Hava shared. I have had several of her videos I've shared on my Facebook page and one on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to share this one when I get done with this live. But Hava started out somewhere over 420 pounds. She doesn't even know how much she weighed because when she found a scale where she could finally weigh herself, her weight was something like 422. And so far she's lost 180 pounds, so she's in the 240s now, and she's keeping on going. Her goal is to be in the 130s. Well, she was sharing about how she felt when she was really, really overweight. And actually, I asked her because I remember when I was really overweight, I didn't realize I still saw the me that I experienced myself to be inside. And I knew I was kind of big, but now looking back at pictures of me, I'm really kind of appalled. Now, I just want to say a little thing here. There are some people that don't like the word fat or obese or, words like that. But if I use any of those words, it's because that's how I used to feel. Okay? That's how I felt. I'm sorry. I have to use the words that I used back then. And if they have bad connotations, well, yeah, they had bad connotations to me back then. I thought I was a really good person, but I didn't like the way I looked, and I was not physically comfortable, and I didn't fit into clothes well. And I couldn't even sit in a lot of chairs that had arms. Oh my gosh, I remember if sometimes I would go to, or let's say I was walking with friends or family, and we were going to go into a restaurant. And they had those little white plastic chairs with arms. They're kind of like chairs some people use on their patio or lawn. I would say, no, let's not go there. Because sometimes I wouldn't fit properly in the chair and I would kind of bulge over the side. I used to imagine sitting in one of those chairs and standing up and having the chair still attached to my hips and butt, it seems funny, but this was a real worry for me back then. And in the video I'm going to share after this, Hava shares about that too, except she had a much bigger problem than I did. Actually, she weighs now what I got close to. I think I got as high as 230 pounds at one point, and I'll post pictures of that. Right now, I think I'm around somewhere between 135 and 140. And that's a comfortable place for me. Well, anyway, so this is what I was thinking about. We're all everybody's in a tizzy to a greater or lesser extent about the whole coronavirus thing. But as with anything else in life, I know that there are people who have trouble with their weight, and very often because of their overweight, they have trouble with their health. And the fact is that whatever's going on out there, you have to live in your body. And you may be the person who doesn't want to go to the doctor because the doctor's going to weigh you, or who, in the times when we could go to restaurants, was like me and like Hava. You didn't want to go to a restaurant that had chairs with arms, or you just feel self-conscious, or you can't find clothes that fit you comfortably, or where you feel like you look nice, or it's hard to bend over. You get out of breath easily. You feel out of control. You're not comfortable in your own skin. You take a bath and you need help getting back out of the bathtub. There's so many different things with being overweight, on a whole continuum from being slightly overweight to being real overweight. And you have to live with that every day. And very often that's a source of making you feel depressed, really hurting your self-image. I know my self-image was in terrible shape when I was heavy. Even though I didn't appreciate how heavy I actually was, it's still, it affected me deep down inside. I think some part of me saw how big I was, and I was kind of clumsy, and I'm not clumsy so much as unwieldy. Like where you're walking down the aisle of the airplane and you have to go kind of sideways because you don't fit front ways, and where your hips are knocking things off of people's tray tables. It can sound a little funny, and there is a certain amount of humor in it, but it's really heartbreaking, Oh dear. I had a friend who was very, very noticeably overweight. And she always tried to dress nice and act nice, but she was also unwieldy. And I remember one time she was coming into a gathering we were having, and she tripped over something and fell down. And she was so self-conscious about herself, not because she tripped, but because she felt that people tended to see her as kind of like, well, she's so fat, of course she has trouble managing that big body. To her it was like sort of a proof that, look at this big, unwieldy person. I didn't feel that way. My feeling was, oh my gosh, are you okay? She, couldn't accept help, couldn't accept sympathy, compassion, or concern from other people because she took it all she interpreted it as they're all pointing at me and saying, you're big and fat and clumsy. How terrible. But I know that there are people who right now are living in that reality. How heartbreaking. And, I guess what I want to say is it really is possible to do something about it. I did in my life, and I want you to, if this is a concern to you or someone you know or love, share Hava's video with them that I'm going to post. I'll post it in the comments here, and I'll also make a separate post, and I'm asking her permission to put it on my YouTube channel because she shares how she used to feel when she was so obese. And, she's still obese, but she's 180 pounds less obese than she used to be. And she shares how she feels now. And, it just really, it filled me with compassion for people who are extremely big. Because I just didn't even realize some of the things that they go through. Anyway, I'm a health coach. Hava is a health coach. Some of you know my daughter Miriam. She's a health coach. All of us have gone through our own experiences of being able to change ourselves physically, but not just physically. There was so much mental change and mental freedom because the health program that we coach is an all-around program that involves, it's not just a diet. It's a healthy lifestyle. And I would say 95% of it happens up here. 5% of it is the weight loss. Although, that's the part that people really see. So they think, wow, look at that. But for my own experience, 95% has happened up here. So it's been just wonderful freedom. And we all became health coaches because we wanted to share that with people. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and post that video for you. If you're just jumping on now, go ahead back to the beginning and listen to what I have to say. And let me say that the one thing I love about this program is it becomes so easy to change your life because you're not just going on some diet. You have meal replacements that taste good, that satisfy you. You end up getting all kinds of energy. No, not because there's anything in what you're eating. It's because your body starts burning fat. And it produces all this energy. Okay, I'm 68 years old, but I can go all day. I've got, toddler grandkids. I can keep up with them. I can outdo them. They're falling asleep and I'm still going because of how I've learned to eat. And I've not only learned to eat, but I have worked on and am still working on the way to think, my mentality about food. Because I tell you what, 60 some odd years of eating unhealthy sure gave me a lot of habits that I have had to work on replacing with healthy habits. And I'm still working. If you listen to my videos, you know that I fall off the wagon too. I've still got a lot to work on. But there are a lot of things that I have accomplished, and I am so proud of myself. I know my daughters are proud of me, and I feel great. Even though I'm not feeling so good today, as long as I'm keeping the light down, I'm feeling real good and very, very energized to be talking with you all and offering you or someone you know or love an opportunity to change their lives too. One healthy habit at a time, as we say. Okay, God bless you. Please share this.